This meeting of August the 1st, session. Did anybody sign up for anything? Public session? No public hearings today? All right, we'll move right on with the Pledge of Allegiance. Vice Mayor Patty Abel.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the next item is the adoption of tonight's agenda. I have two items that I'd like to add. No, scratch that. It's one item. I need to make one appointment, and it's a very brief appointment. And then the next item is approval of the July the 5th and July the 19th town board minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve? Yeah, that'd be fine, or I can do it right now. We'll go ahead and approve the.
What kind of appointment is it?
It's to the Eclipse Committee to represent the town at the Eclipse Committee. Brandon had expressed a desire to represent the town on that committee, and we're going to have 2.5 minutes of total darkness in August of next year.
Sure, but I thought we were doing stuff out of line.
Oh, this is with the big committee. There's a regional committee that's representing the town. He just represents the town on that big committee. Is that right? Okay. All right. Do I have a motion to accept Brandon?
Someone doesn't know about this.
Is it the region or with us? I thought it was with us.
Well, it's the Brandon, didn't you tell me it was this committee that Southwestern and all was involved in?
Yeah, that was my understanding.
Yeah.
The one that you and I went
Yeah, exactly.
to. That one, okay. All right.
Yeah, that's it. We don't know what we're going to do yet. I think we've got the sunglasses ordered, don't we? Yeah.
And Tony and I have been working on an event.
Okay, and we talked to Duke about keeping the lights on. Okay. All right, can I hear a motion to allow me to appoint
I move that
Brandon?
we adopt the agenda as
Okay, all right. And is that second? All in favor? Okay, so now I need a motion to appoint Brandon to the regional, or whatever it is, Eclipse Committee. And for those of you that don't know, Brandon has accepted a position as a science teacher at Mountain View. And I think that's wonderful. So he's also going to serve as ex officio science advisor to this board. So do I hear a motion?
Adam moved.
All in favor? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, nobody signed up the approval for the July the 5th and July the 19th town board minutes. Everybody had a chance to look over? Move to be approved. Have a motion, they're approved. All in favor? Okay, public session, and Madam Manager, no one signed up?
Quiet night.
Yeah, so we'll move right on along. New business, tax release. Tax releases, Ms. Wilkins?
Good evening. You will follow through your packets. I've got some releases that we need to request board approval. The first one being the Woodlawn Cemetery. Macon County released some of the taxes for 2013 and 14, a portion of them. We just need board approval to release those on our tax files.
Okay. Any discussion from the board? None? All in favor? All right, I need a motion to approve that tax release.
So,
Just a second. Okay, all in favor? Okay.
Okay. There's another release. This one is for vehicle tax. As you know, Macon County released some of the vehicle taxes that were uncollectible. And in that packet, I'm asking the town's board approval to release that from our tax receivables. And it's broken out by year. It's just kind of a formality that you all approve it for me.
All right. Any discussion from the board? Entertain a motion to release that. Ms. Wilkins? Second? All in favor?
And I have two more releases.
Two more,
here.
okay.
Two more. The next one is the minimum tax bills for 2016, $5 and under, totals $301.78. We do need approval from the board to release those. And if anyone would like to see a list, I have the 34-page list. I just didn't make a copy of it for everybody.
And those are tax bills for less than $5?
Less than $5.
How do you get on that
Yeah.
list?
Unfortunately, you didn't make it, I'm sorry.
Okay. All right,
And-
motion to release.
I move that we
All in favor? All right.
And one last request. This one, we have two tax bills. One is the apartments at Orchard View and one is Macon Housing Development. These are tax exempt properties. They come over in our file because they do have to pay landfill user fees and it generates a bill in the county. And it comes over in our file, and the only way to do this is every year ask for those to be released from our tax rolls. And then the third one on there, Smoky Mountain Healthcare, they closed their business in 2014, and it was just an error on the county side not removing them from the tax file, so we need to ask for approval to release that one.
Entertain a motion. All right, I have a motion. A second. All in favor?
That's all I have to go on. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Ms. Foster, do you have some budget amendments for tonight?
I do. There's 5 different budget amendments. I think the first one in your packet is grants for the appropriation of the bike and head grant and the required match of $12,800 total to be appropriated for 2016-17. And then the second one, I had to give out a corrected amendment. I laid that on the top of your papers there. It's the Memorial Car Registration Grant, and that's to appropriate into fiscal year 16-17 and extended at 6/30, and that's for $18,884. The next 3 budget amendments for appropriations of insurance settlement checks that we got late in the fiscal year, and they're unextended, and we need to appropriate those into 16-17. The first one is for fire department for a 2011 Pierce truck that had some damage. The next one in your packet is for the police department, which is for the 2011 37 total loss for the police department. And then the last one is actually for a lightning strike that we had at the water and sewer facility. And that's the appropriation of the amount of appropriate those items.
Can we just take them all in one motion? Okay. That being the case, I'll entertain a motion to accept all of these. Second? Okay. All in favor? All right. We have a street closing request for candlelight vigil for suicide awareness and prevention. Madam Manager.
Yes, Mr. Mayor and Board. What you have before you tonight is a request to close Iowa Street on Friday, September the 9th, from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. To hold a candlelight vigil for suicide awareness and prevention. The actual candlelight vigil will start at 7:30 that night and will be ending at 9:30. So they're requesting to close the street 30 minutes prior, and then the event will actually be ending around 9:30, but they wanted to give a little bit of cushion room for people to be able to leave. So they're requesting to leave the street closed until 10 p.m.
You got any further on that? Okay. All right. Any discussion from the board? Questions?
I'm just curious, who is sponsoring this?
Holly Everett.
Just an individual?
Yes.
No, I was just curious.
Okay. Any further questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to grant the street closing on Alder Street. Okay, second? Is that all kind of thing? Okay, all in favor? Okay. Madam Manager, we have a resolution authorizing the tax collector to collect the 2016 taxes.
Yes, Mr. Mayor and Board, what you have before you tonight in your agenda package is a resolution that will authorize the town tax collector to collect the 2016 Town of Franklin taxes. So if we could have a motion to approve that resolution and the status of taxes being mailed out, they should be mailed out probably next week. I got mine today. Oh, you got yours today. She's finishing them up, so good.
All right, you want to make that motion?
Yes.
Okay. Do I have a second?
A little late, that's right.
All in favor? Okay, we also have an update on the Town of Franklin Water Treatment Plant project. Madam Manager.
Yes, Mr. Mayor and Board, this is just kind of an update. Myself and our Public Works Director, Jay Gibson, met with McGill, our engineering firm that the town is working with in regards to the water treatment plant project that the town of Franklin is doing with our water plant. We've looked at kind of a proposed schedule, and it's in your agenda packet. They're proposing to do the advertisement of bids on September the 3rd. They're going to open project bids on October the 6th. Submit bid package and DDA documentation to DWI on October the 13th. Then on November the 7th, we'll have the town board could award the construction contract. Then on November 2016, the date will still be determined. DWI authorization to award, and then December 2016 award contract. That date's still to be determined. And then January 2017, we'll have our pre-construction conference. The issue that we were worried we would run into when we originally started to look at this was we did not want to begin construction in the middle of winter. So we're hoping that construction will actually commence maybe March, and the project date is scheduled to be probably take around 9 months of completion, 9 months to 18 months. So, but this is just kind of a proposed project schedule to let the board know what we're looking at for our water plant.
So you really don't need a motion on that?
No, sir, this is just information only.
Information only. Okay, traffic calming solutions, Ms. McRae.
Mr. Mayor.
I'm sorry, I did. It's too small a type.
Sorry about that.
Thank y'all for catching it.
Mr. Mayor and Board, what you have before you tonight is just kind of an update. I know that the board has been really wanting the town to look at some sidewalks and address some sidewalk needs. One thing that the town we've been looking at is on Lakeside Drive. What you see before you is in front of the new brewery. We're looking at replacing the section of sidewalk beginning at the new brewery and ending at Duke's new access point. So that's actually starting there at that point. And you can see these are just some different photos. You actually have a printout that's a little bit easier to read. Just the sidewalk's really, really broken in areas. And if you've not went out there and look, evaluated this area, I would encourage you to go out there and look. It's heavily utilized by pedestrians and bicyclers. We've actually begun some saw cutting activities out there with a firm out of Atlanta. We did some of this project out. Some of it we'll be doing in-house as well. But we have started cutting some of the existing sidewalk, and that's what some of those marks are. You can see in this photo. And then here's two photos here. So you'll notice in your photo, it'll be to my right, the mailboxes. There's about 6 existing mailboxes in the sidewalks. Our Public Works Director has actually went and talked to the U.S. Postmaster, and they're actually willing to relocate those mailboxes so they're not in the new sidewalk, which is good news because I know in the past they've not been willing to work with the town on that. So that'll be an improvement there. And then of course the last photo, you can just see this sidewalk is just in really dire need of repair. So this is just one project I know that's near and dear to the town's heart. We just wanted to kind of show you what we've been working on. Probably next week, one of the local contractors who's actually awarded the bid will begin some additional work. I know the town crews will actually be involved in doing some demolition work with the sidewalk. But just kind of an update on what we're doing with some of our power bill funds. No motion needed, just kind of a project update.
Any board member have any questions, discussion? Okay, we'll move on. The traffic calming solutions, Ms. McCray, you have something to bring before us.
We moved to Harrison Avenue back probably 24 years ago. And at that time, it's mostly retired people on the street. Now it's about half families with young children. There are a lot of young children on the street. And what I hear most from my neighbors is how much they love living in town, how much they love Harrison Avenue. But, and there's always this but, can't you do something about the traffic? People speed. People just go too fast. At least that's people's perception, whether it's true or not. So I've thought about this a lot, and I rediscovered an organization called Project for Public Spaces that I just fell in love with back in the days of the old Main Street program when it was first going. I was very interested in urban planning and so forth, and I found this wonderful organization that studies public spaces, what makes spaces successful and exciting and where people want to go, whether they live there or they're visitors or whatever. So I was delighted to find that they have done a lot on the issue of traffic calming. And you all have a copy of this Traffic Calming 101. And as they say in here, a lot of these things can be done very cheaply as temporary trial solutions. And if they don't work, move them. Or if this isn't the best place, move it a few feet up, that sort of thing. I like that idea because you don't want to spend a lot of money putting something in and then find out that everybody hates it. So this gave everyone a chance to try a solution out. Rob says he's going to buy me a big boulder, like the picture here, for Harrison Avenue. Of course, people to slow down.
And I have to say, I think any approval will be contingent on you pronouncing this German word.
If you don't know how to pronounce it, don't even go there.
The kids never be I've been licensed in Germany for a long time, so I still can't pronounce it. Anyway, a lot of these are European ideas. It's just getting people to slow down and enjoy the town and that sort of thing, more than just speeding through it to get somewhere else. One of the things I was interested in is that they say in this information sheet, narrower streets slow people down. Well, I've noticed myself on Bidwell Street. You got a 2-lane, for some reason, part of it is 2-lane, part of it is 1 lane. On the 2-lane portion, I'm in a little bitty lane, and I go very slow. When I hit that 1-lane portion, which is bigger, I speed up. And I don't mean to do it. I'm not really speeding, Chief. I mean, it's just a psychological thing. You see this big street ahead, a stretch ahead of you, you go faster. So I'm wondering if we shouldn't consider looking at Bidwell Street and say, why did we decide to make part of it 1-way and part of it 2-way? And would it be better for the people there if the people go slower if it was actually 2 lanes again all the way up, because you'd have those narrower lanes. For Harrison Avenue, I like the idea of these, what they call chicanes, where you build the sidewalk out, or you can do it by alternating where people park. So instead of having all the parking on one side, you have these 2 long stretches, you force an undulating pattern by moving some of the parking to one side and then the other. Or even if it's wide enough to have angled parking, because that narrows the route again and makes people go slower. So anyway, and if you have an opportunity to go to their website and just look at all the other things they have, because they all have to do with urban design, what makes great cities, what makes great places, public places.
I'm just curious, is with the relocation of the Depot Street extension and stuff, is that still a state level house?
Yes,
Who owns Harrison Avenue?
it's still a state road.
Which means there's a lot of stuff you can't do because, I mean, you could put speed bumps on it.
Maybe we could ask the DOT to do this study for us.
But I just wondered, it's not on our,
It's not
not
28 north anymore.
no, but it's not a town Franklin.
And that helped the traffic a lot. We don't have nearly the traffic that we used to have, but it still goes way too fast. Anyway, I just thought you all might enjoy this and get some other ideas from it, and some of those suggestions might work on some of the other streets that people complain about. Anyway,
That's great. Any questions of Mr. Craig? And following up on that, I think we have found an answer to the speed bumps that the DOT won't let us use. There are portable speed bumps. Two people can handle them, put them down, and move them as needed. And one thing that we're thinking about might work, I don't know, Chief, we haven't had a chance to talk about it yet, but where we get the street is complaint driven about speeding, we could put a speed bump out, these portable speed bumps, and then put a sign right next to it, and you have to notice what the speed limit is. So these things are not all that expensive, but I would like to ask the board if you would be willing to allow us to pursue this further and look into maybe spending about $2,000. You've got it in your packet, the portable rubber speed bumps. They come in two lengths, one 10-inch, two 10 feet, one 12 feet. And I would think that around Franklin probably would be better off with the 10-foot. What do you think, Chief? If we decide to look into this.
Other than a state maintained road, our one's responsible for the town.
I don't know, the reason that the DOT would not let us talk about the speed bumps on Main Street was because of the snow plows. And what we were thinking about, just an occasional, just putting these out as a reminder to people what the speed limit is around town. And let's say you live on, like I do, on Dogwood. And if somebody's speeding on that, we have a lot of speeding on it. If we call the police department, then they could go out and put a speed bump down and put the speed limit sign next to it and leave it there for 3 or 4 days, and then people would get the idea. I don't think that, I hate to give a ticket for speeders. You're talking about $400 or $500 to go to court, plus your insurance going up. Yeah, but
I hate speed bumps, just hate speed bumps. When the town starts putting them out, I'm gonna send the town a bill to realign the front end of my car. Chief, let me ask a couple questions.
Yes, sir.
What's the speed limit out Harrison Avenue?
35.
Is it 35?
Yeah.
I've noticed that you set that,
Speed trailer.
the trailer out there and everything. Have y'all been watching it out there?
Most of the time, they're doing like 40. A lot of times, they run some radar out there.
So there are a little bit of speed.
Right.
What about accidents? Are there any accidents ever happens out that way?
I don't recall any in the last couple of years.
No, I don't either.
Maybe back on the other side of Sunset, we maybe had a couple wrecks. I think it's 45 up to around Sunset, and it goes back to 35, if I'm not mistaken.
What's the speed limit throughout town? Is it 45?
35 unless otherwise posted.
35 unless otherwise posted. Do we know whether or not it's posted out through there? And of course, that's now that we're talking about a state road,
Right.
and they're the ones that have the authority to post the speed
Right.
limit. Would we not be better off to ask them to change it from 45 to 35?
Yeah, we can do that. And 25, if you get past Sunset, we can request.
I can see people just walking down the street thinking, boy, that car's flying, but they're not doing as fast as they think they're doing.
Sometimes that's true.
Yeah.
However, I will say, at least 4 power utility poles have been completely destroyed by people running into them. And
There's probably a little tips.
well,
Yeah.
the utility poles are right on the corner, right next to the curb.
That's Duke. Well, it was Nanahagan.
They can't move.
They can't move them. But they've been there
But
forever.
people still shouldn't get them.
That's right. If you stay on the road, you won't.
And these are all different poles.
I think before anything like that happens, before any money's spent on anything, we need to look at this and take a look at it, because I would totally be against putting anything on Harrison Avenue. My goodness. Like a speed
Now,
bump or whatever.
on this website that I referred you to, they talk about a speed bump, which is not as big as a bump. It's a smoother, bigger.
But we're still talking about state road and not a county road. So this is, of course, this is first anybody's seen.
The state is now supposed to be all about pedestrians
Right,
and bicycles,
right.
so maybe they would entertain some.
Well, they might. I think they're probably foolish to do it, but they might.
The DOT, I serve on the RPO, a couple other things with the DOT for municipalities. They're really beginning to rethink traffic big time. We do a great job of moving vehicles, but we don't do a very good job of moving people.
Mm-hmm.
And they're beginning to look at roundabouts. And incidentally, it looks like the projected roundabouts in town have been pushed on back another month or two before they do anything further on it. So hopefully, but if there's no objection, could we move on this to a further study?
Who is the we?
Well, this board, the town, the police chief, the public safety, fire
I
chief.
mean, are you going to establish a committee, or are you going to, I mean, what's it, because we're talking about a real comprehensive approach we have to have. First of all, we've got city streets that we can control, and we have highways and state roads that we have less control over.
Well, that's true, and this is what we want to do, is whatever, anybody, we've got a streets committee, we've got the town manager, we've got the police chief, we've got the fire chief. Just let's start gathering some information and seeing.
Well, was there a suggestion that we take $2,000 and buy some of these things and then just start setting them out in the street?
That was a suggestion that I had, yeah.
I'd like to think we'd be a little deeper into the plan than that.
Well, I'm sure you would.
Let me suggest a starting point might be look at liability aspects of this, because there are some.
Yeah.
With the state maintained road, it goes one of two ways. Either we make a suggestion for some change in traffic pattern or what have you, and the DOT says, great idea, we need to do that, and they put it in. Or the other thing that happens is they would give us an encroachment agreement kind of thing like we have for utility placement that says the town maintains it, the town assumes all liability for it, and we hold them harmless for any cases that might result from it. Because there are cases that say, whether it's DOT or the city that's responsible for maintenance of a traffic control device, we keep the liability for maintaining it once it's been put in. And the same thing would be true on a town street where you would put in one of these temporary speed bumps. So it might be some, that would include the design of it, where they went, and I don't know, I assume that these things have been sort of vetted for their effectiveness and safety, but I think it'd be worth sort of looking at. So that might be something I could come back to you with and work with the town manager on kind of an initial report for you next month.
That's agreeable with the board. That's what we'll do. Yeah. Anybody got any problems with that? Okay. Moving along. Counselor, the Tyler Technology Software License and Services Agreement.
Mr. Mayor, since the board okay, I've got kind of 3 different documents that I need to review with you all together that are all kind of related. And the thing that I am handing out to you now is a resolution of the board that, and I apologize for these being so last minute. We try to land on the aircraft carrier in enough time for you all to get a look at everything first.
Buy you a Duke shirt and nothing that.
I wouldn't. This first document that I just handed to you, and I ask you to turn your attention to first, it says resolution of the board adopting identity theft prevention program. This is something that we, as a creditor
for our utility accounts need to adopt that specifies it's just a program, and what follows the resolution is the program. That is this is sort of a model program that I've just adapted where necessary to the town's use to maintain the safety of personal identifiable information of our customers. The utility aspect of the town's business, our customers are like that of a private business, and so we fall into these same regulations, the red flag rules that are part of the Fair and Accurate Credit Transactions Act. We need to go ahead and consider adopting this because of the other two documents that I've given you. And those are the Town of Franklin South Data Inc. Billing Services Agreement with really dark cover, and the Tyler Technologies Licensing Services Agreement. Those, we'll get into further, more on the functions of those two entities and what the contracts will do, but for the first step in this, I would ask you to consider adopting this resolution and implementing this program, because both of these agreements are going to call on us to transmit our customer data to these other entities. And we really have to have a program in place that says, hey, you, South Data and Tyler Technologies, you're going to abide by our red flags program and safeguard all of our customers' data. So I'm happy to answer any questions about that, but as the first step in this, I'd ask you to approve that resolution and adopt this ordinance.
Okay, does anybody want to do discussion, actually? If not, I'll entertain the motion for the resolution of the board to adopt the identity theft prevention program. Second? Second. All in favor? The next item is the South Data Services Agreement. Councilor?
Mr. Mayor, as a legal matter, I'll tell you that I've reviewed this agreement thoroughly and don't find any, if there were anything that was troubling to us, we negotiated with South Data and had to correct to our liking. So as far as its contents, I would recommend its approval.
Can you give us a real quick summary of what we're talking about?
Mr. Mayor and Board, I will, if you don't
Sure.
mind. What South Data Services and Agreement will allow the town of Franklin to move forward in doing, it'll actually be a third-party billing contract, where it will now allow the town of Franklin, they'll actually be taking over our billing services. It will be more professionalized billing. It will now allow our customers to be able to view their bill online at FedLight. We'll also be able to let them, it's going to look more like a Duke power bill. Each customer, each month, will be able to see their usage. So this is what that contract is before you. We're hoping, we've got some meetings scheduled for them in the upcoming months. We're hoping that this program will be live and available to the residents of Franklin and all of our water and sewer customers by October the 1st.
Any questions of the manager or our attorney? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agreement with South Data, the billing service agreement. Okay, second? All in favor?
Just ask a question. Is this in our budget?
Yes, sir.
Well, we've approved the budget for it, so.
It's your red flags document that Mr. Henning was speaking about earlier. You want to talk about that earlier or further?
Well, I don't want to muddy the water here. I just asked the question, we got money to pay for this.
Yes, sir.
It has been budgeted. It wouldn't, I don't know that it would be an absolute legal necessity for the board to approve this contract for the reason that it was entered in, it was contemplated in the budget, it was appropriated already.
All right.
Your manager really had authority, but also when all of these new bills come out, you all are going to hear about it. And people may ask you where this came from. Yes.
All right, the next item
Well, we
is...
got a motion and a second, then discussion, so we got to call.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
No,
Thank
it's
you for
fine.
catching me on this.
I read that.
I'm not sure. Okay, The motion is to adopt the billing service agreement in South Data. Do I hear a motion? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I got thrown off track here. All in favor? The next item is a closed session.
Mr. Mayor, before you move on, the Tyler license and services agreement is also a service contract that we're going to ask the board. Similarly, it was budgeted. It's already, it was in the budget. It would have been within the manager's authority to go ahead and approve it, but just to provide you the information about it, we've given you a copy here. And really, it's not a legal necessity to ask the board to approve it. So,
This is the, Mr. Mayor and Board, what this is, Tyler Technologies is what we discussed during our budget process, looking at transitioning over to our new software provider. Our finance officer, Ms. Doster, myself, and our town planner, who also serves dual roles as our IT director, we've been in conference calls along with Mr. Henning with Tyler Technologies to try and get everything set up for conversion. Looks like conversion will start in the next couple months. However, we're looking to go live probably July 1st. So that's what Tyler Technologies is just replacing our current software provider.
We talked about that in the budget.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you don't need a motion on that. That's
the manager has authority.
That's what. Okay. All right, now we'll go on to the, we need to hold a closed session to establish or to instruct the public body, staff, or negotiating agents concerning their position to be taken by or on behalf of the public body in negotiating the price and other material or terms of a contract, a proposed contract for the acquisition of real property by purchase, option, exchange, or lease, being that property located at 196 West Palmer Street.
Motion to go into closed session for that purpose.
Second, all in favor? Okay, then we have some announcements afterward. I don't know how long it will be gone, but it should not be too awful long. Okay. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to go back into open session. All in favor? All right, we've got a few announcements to make. We have an application for the fiscal year 2016-2017 nonprofit funding pool are available at Town Hall and also online at www.franklinnc.com. Now, all applications are due Monday, August the 22nd by 5 p.m. Public Safety Day will be Saturday, August the 27th at the town gazebo from 10 until 1 p.m. The chiefs have anything they want to say about it?
We're still putting it together. We want everybody to come out in public. Summers will get in the Dunkin' booth. So.
I thought Bob was.
Oh,
Well, we'll let Edie out of here contribute.
Steve, I need a little private discussion.
Are we doing donations?
Yeah, donations will be good.
I had that in an interview.
I think I've got to be somewhere that.
Listen to whose voice that was.
That's a great thing y'all are doing. Thanks. Appreciate it. All right. The town hall offices will be closed Monday, September the 5th, in observance of Labor Day. And so the next regular scheduled town board meeting will be Tuesday, September the 6th. So if you make a note of that. All right, let's go around the table. Anybody got anything they want to add before we close this out? Collins?
As we get closer to next budget year, and as things come to your mind, let Summer know we need to start a sheet, because when we have a good retreat, sometimes if you don't write it down, don't get it down, you forget about it, even if it's a good idea, and next thing you know, you missed your opportunity to really discuss it. But there's a lot of camaraderie on this board. We've got a lot of good things going for us. think that we really just need to, like Bob was suggesting earlier on, maybe get some vision on some future of this traffic flow and stuff, but as ideas come to us, give Summer let her start writing them down, because otherwise we won't have that built until a week before it, and then we'll pull it together the last minute, and it never works that way. Ask.
Good. Ms. Abel?
Okay.
Good. Ms. Pastor? Well, great.
I was just wondering if anybody on the board or somewhere in town has seen the plan for 441 South. I understand the DOT has a plan, but they're not letting anybody see it. I have not.
No, we discussed it the other day at RPO, but there was nothing visual there.
I was told that they had a plan and it was good, but they're not showing it to anybody.
Something about medians and I don't know.
I think that, we
See
should
if
see
you can
it.
I don't think they know yet, I'll be honest with you. I think they're, I don't know, they may even be having second thoughts. That goes all the way down to Live Horizon.
Yeah.
Like they're 40 and 20.
So I just don't know. Right, man? You're good? Everybody good?
Thank you for the opportunity to serve on the equipment committee. I'm very excited.
We wondered about who can keep us in
We're
the
so
dark the
proud of
most. You got it. All right, no further business, so entertain a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
All right, all in favor? Good night, drive safely.
Yeah.